Bloomberg is reporting that Bank of America's Merrill Lynch and Wells Fargo are about to offer the Bitcoin ETFs to their wealth clients. Of course, they are. Game theory is playing out here. And on the same day this news comes, Vanguard CEO says he's stepping down. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. And the House Financial Services Committee pushes for the rulemaking to kick out Gary Gensler's SAB 121 rule, which is preventing the banks from custodying Bitcoin ETFs. This is big. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. It supports the podcast and it doesn't cost you anything. Well, folks, let's start by looking at the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's cooling down a bit. It's going to consolidate between 60 and 61,000, build some support levels here. And I think it still has a next leg up. Everyone is waiting to see what Bitcoin's going to do next. And obviously it's ahead of schedule, like we've been talking about. Usually this type of pump happens after the halving, but it's happening ahead of the halving. And some are saying we could see new all-time highs by the halving. So maybe that's like 75,000 or something. Some are saying higher. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. There is the bear scenario that this thing starts to correct a bit. And, we go back to maybe 50K. Maybe it doesn't go down to 35K like I was saying, because it's moving in a faster trajectory than I was anticipating. And I think many analysts were just like, whoa, this thing is going parabolic, right? So we'll see what happens. We have to be patient. Let's take a look at the DXY. Right now, the DXY, it is on a downward trajectory, but right now it's finding some support right at the 103 level. We're seeing some green candles. So as the DXY continues to move down, that's great for risk assets like Bitcoin and the crypto market. And obviously, the stock market will move accordingly as well. So we got to be patient. And I think the more time Bitcoin takes consolidating, building support levels, the better, because market cycles have to play out here. We can't have a straight line run up. That is not possible. We have to build support levels. But all good, folks. We are in phase 2 of the bull market. Phase 1 was 2023, and phase 3 will be 2025. Now, Bitcoin could surprise us and just hit the blow off top this year, right? That could certainly happen. I actually wrote a newsletter about that, given the thesis, because of what's going on in the markets with the election, the Fed, when they decide to cut rates, and much more. Now, Plan B shared a updated stock to flow model, and you can see well, at least those watching on YouTube can see we are in the blue zone. And after the blue usually comes that dark red, and then the lighter red, and then the orange zone. It's a color scale, right, to make the chart easy to read. So we still got ways to go. But as you can see, we're in that bull market phase. So exciting times, folks. And what I'm expecting, in the coming weeks or so as Bitcoin consolidates is the liquidity should flow down to the alts. And we're starting to see retail is waking up. So Offset, I don't know how many of you know Offset. This is a rapper. He tweeted out today, homies made racks on Doge, talking about Dogecoin. He says he copped some Myro as part of his first crypto ever. Myro Group sent this to me, or sent me this. He said, what do you guys think of my chain? And it's Myro Soul. He put it as here. So this is a Solana-based meme coin. I honestly have not heard about it. So I'm not telling you guys to go invest in this. So please be careful. This is a sign of a local top. So these are factors you want to look at when you're investing, looking at the entire thing holistically. Tech YouTuber Marquise Brownlee, who has 6.2 million followers on Twitter, tweeted out, remember Bitcoin. This was from yesterday. So we're starting to see the normies and the retail waking up here, and meme coins are waking up. In fact, let's look at some of the data here from sentiment, the social trends, what's happening. I just refreshed it here. It was updated 18 minutes ago. The top trending altcoin or crypto is Portal. I don't hold any Portal. Number 2 is Dogecoin. So that makes sense. There's a lot of meme coins on this list. Third is True Chain. I've never heard of True Chain. I've heard of Bonk. Bonk is number 4. Bitcoin at number 5, which is no surprise. Solana at number 6. Shiba Inu at 7. ETH at 8. Shido. Never heard of that. at 9 and Pepe at 10. So a lot of meme coins here, folks. So see what's happening. Liquidity flowing down to meme coins. Retail is coming back in. Signs of a local top, not the end of the bull market, just a local top. And we could see Bitcoin pull back, but who knows, right? Maybe Bitcoin just keeps going because that DXY is going to continue crashing. So let's see what happens, my friends. Nevertheless, bullish times are ahead, and here is some bullish news. Being reported by Bloomberg, Bank of America's Merrill, Wells Fargo offer Bitcoin ETFs to wealth clients. Folks, all of Wall Street, all the banks, all the stock exchanges, all the investment firms are coming. They have to, as we've been talking about for years. This is the next layer on top of the internet. This is not a fad. This is blockchain tech, and part of the blockchain tech revolution includes crypto and digital assets. Everything will run on the blockchain, whether you're transacting, whether you're buying assets and real estate, and all these things will be tokenized on the blockchain. And of course, you have the currencies and the Bitcoin, which is, of course, digital gold, involved in the mix of this. So it's incredible what is taking place. It's amazing to see the capitulation. People who years ago were trashing this asset class and technology are now bending the knee, are now integrating it. It's amazing. So Bank of America Corp's Merrill arm and Wells Fargo Co.'s brokerage unit are offering access to ETFs that invest directly in Bitcoin, underscoring the increased acceptance of the products by mainstream firms. The banks are offering the approved ETFs to some wealth management clients with brokerage accounts who request the products, according to the people familiar with the matter. Now, folks, remember Merrill? They came out about a couple months ago saying, we're thinking about it. And now they have capitulated, right? But who took the hard stance? Vanguard, right? They're like, we're never going to list this stuff. And look at this, folks. I don't think this is a coincidence. Some people are saying, oh, this is not a coincidence. I don't think it is. Here's the news. Tim Buckley is stepping down as the CEO of Vanguard at the end of the year. Kind of a shocker, to be honest, although he has been there for 33 years, says Eric Balchunas, who I just had on the podcast yesterday. Greg Davis appointed president, board on a search now for a new CEO. I literally had a conversation with Eric Balchunas of Bloomberg about this. If you haven't seen that interview, check it out. It's a good one. I said, look, this thing has to make dollars and cents. When the CFO and the board looks at what's happening in the market, there's going to be a WTF moment, right? Like, what the F are we doing? We are missing out on fees. Vanguard is a business, and they are trying to grow revenue, right? And they will want to grab as much fees as possible. Now, by not remaining neutral and just saying, hey, we're exploring it, we'll let you guys know. They took the hard stance. We won't list this stuff. Are you kidding me? And that's the Elizabeth Warren stance, right? That's the Gary Gensler stance. They've gone on the other side of the spectrum versus staying neutral. Hey, we don't love or hate it. We'll just explore it. That could have been the simple answer. And people wouldn't have been trashing them. People wouldn't have been closing their accounts and moving their funds. So I'm sure the board were like, hey, what the hell are we doing? Right? All of Wall Street is jumping in. Our competitors, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and all these guys are jumping in. What the hell are we doing? Right. So I don't think this comes as a surprise. So he will be retiring by the end of the year. I think the writing's on the wall that he got probably asked to step down because of this nonsense, taking this type of stance, which is ridiculous. And it's not that you need to force people to invest in the Bitcoin ETFs, but you should have it as an option if they want to, if they choose to. So the fact that you're trying to say, we don't even want you to make that decision, that's not good business. And I'm not some Wall Street CEO, but I'm telling you, I know enough business to know that is not good business, right? You're taking that type of stance, especially that this thing is now in an ETF wrapper. All of Wall Street is there. Consumers want it, but you want to take this type of stance. It's ridiculous. So there you go. It's stepping down, probably being forced to step down. Now, Matt Hogan of Bitwise, he's the CIO who I've had on the podcast many times. I'm a big fan of Matt and Hunter Horsley and the guys at Bitwise. They're doing great things. He said today on CNBC that the ETFs obviously performing incredibly well, but he says he's going to talk to one of the largest institutional consultants in the US about the Bitcoin spot ETF. So he tweeted out he can't wait for that meeting. So I'm going to try to get him back on a podcast soon to talk about that. Obviously, he can't give names right now, but folks, the marketing, the awareness, the brand building is happening. And this is why we're still in the early innings of this Bitcoin ETF surge. Wait till more RIAs and wealth managers understand this and start putting their clients' money in this. It's amazing. Now, a quick word from our sponsor, and that is VeChain. VeChain is one of the top enterprise level blockchains. They are getting huge adoption. They have huge partnerships. They're building a lot of great technology in the Web3 space. Many of you may know they are targeting the supply chain management use case, tracking and traceability, and much more. Some of the brands that work with them include Givenchy, PwC, Walmart China, BMW. So they're doing great things. They are a very scalable blockchain, low energy usage, good speed and security. So I'm a big fan of VeChain. I hold a VET token. I have been holding the token for years. This is why I accepted VeChain as a sponsor, because I believe in this project. If you'd like to learn more, check out the link in the description. Go to vchain.org. Now, folks, today was a big hearing in the House Financial Services Committee because there was a meeting about the SAB 121 or SAB 121, which is the bullshit bulletin from scumbag regulator Gary Gensler. And this actually prevents the banks from being able to custody Bitcoin and ETFs and crypto assets. And as you all know, the Government Accountability Office pushed back on this, saying this is unlawful. And we saw members of Congress were like, okay, we see what's going on here. We're going to go after this, including Representative Wiley Nickel, U.S. Representative Mike Flood, and even Cynthia Lummis from the Senate. So there was a hearing today. A lot of, Tom Emmer, Mike Flood, a bunch of folks spoke about it and called out scumbag regulator Gary Gensler. And good news is that they were able to mark up the legislation and push it through. Next steps here per the Chamber of Digital Commerce is it's on its way to the House floor to be voted on. This is great. Here's what Cody Carbone of the Chamber said. Thank you, Representative Wiley Nickel and U.S. Representative Mike Flood for their hard work here. Nullifying SAB 121 is an important step for investor protection and to support the legal rulemaking process or processes. Excited to watch this joint resolution move forward. So this is great news, and this would be another big fat L for that scumbag chair who's sitting at the SEC. Now, speaking of the SEC, today the Blockchain Association, they filed a amicus brief on behalf of Kraken versus the SEC in that lawsuit. So the SEC, of course, has been attacking Kraken, and now Kraken is suing them. So we saw the chamber file an amicus brief. Now the Blockchain Association, so the industry backing up these exchanges and companies against the tyrants at the SEC. I shouldn't say all folks at the SEC are tyrants, not everybody, but specifically scumbag regulator Gary Gensler. Here's what Marissa Tashman-Koppel, who I've had on the podcast quite often, said about this amicus brief. She said, today, the Blockchain Association and DeFi Education Fund filed an amicus brief in support of Kraken's fight against the SEC. The case is yet another overreach of authority in the SEC's long campaign to force most digital assets into its jurisdiction. So this is really great. Now, let's move ahead. There's something called cloned assets that are being brought to Solana. So this is interesting. So let me give you guys some details. Clone launches mainnet and brings cloned assets to Solana. So this is interesting. Clone, a protocol designed to make it simpler for Solana blockchain users to trade non-native tokens, revealed it will launch the public mainnet of clone markets and clone liquidity tomorrow. This launch will introduce markets on the Solana blockchain for non-native assets via cloned assets, otherwise known as CL assets. The purpose of this protocol will be to simplify the trading of non-native tokens on Solana so that traders can optimize their trades to take advantage of the blockchain's fast transaction speeds and lower fees. Clone Market aims to be the trading platform that will enable users to directly purchase and sell CL assets. It is designed so that traders can manage their portfolios within the Solana blockchain without having to constantly switch between various chains. It will give liquidity providers access to a liquidity system that supports leveraged and cross-margin liquidity pools in exchange for USDC collateral. This single collateral source will be given access to every clone pool simultaneously. So this is an interesting idea, and it's along the lines of maybe what Flare is doing too with F assets. But great to see that, building and expansion continues. Let's see if this has legs to last and it works well. But look, a good update for Solana. Honestly, more building on the Solana blockchain. This is why I share the developer data with you guys from Sentiment, because there's a correlation between dev activity on these blockchains and the price of the native assets. All right, folks, that's the news. Quick word from our next sponsor, and that is Uphold, great crypto exchange and platform, 260 plus cryptocurrencies. I've been using them since 2018. You can trade precious metals such as gold, silver, palladium, platinum on this platform. If you'd like to learn more, check out the link in the description. Also, guys, free way to support the podcast. Sign up for the free email newsletter, link in the description. Also, follow me on Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. It's free, guys. It doesn't cost you anything. It really supports the podcast. I appreciate it. And thank you for watching and listening. And I'll talk to you all later.